Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Season of Us podcast. This is episode 14, and trust me, I'm well aware that this episode is way overdue. I have been slacking. I've been making excuses for as to why I can't make these videos, and I'm not gonna lie, I got to the point where I was like, well, I've already missed 2 months of this podcast, so why am I gonna keep on going with it? But one thing I know about myself is that this is something that I will always love to do. I love to motivate. I love to just speak on things that not very many people like to speak on, and I love to just know that I could help even just at least one person, even if that one person is me. Honestly, I think that speaking as a motivational person or a strategist or an influencer, whatever it is that I would be considered, I love to do it. So whether it's now or in a couple of years or 10 years from now, I feel like this is still something that I'll be drawn to, so I refuse to give up on it. So even though it's 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes, even though it's 2 months later, here we are, episode 14, and as you can tell, it's a little bit different than my most videos because it's more of a podcast little vibe. I feel like before it was more of just kind of like a sit with me YouTube channel kind of feel to it, but now I really want to just focus on what we talk about, you know, the whole thing, all of life, everything. But let's just get started. So grab your coffee, your tea, your water. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have literally like barely any coffee left, but just grab your coffee, your tea, your water, your soda, your wine, your hot chocolate, I don't know, whatever you want, and we're just gonna get started. But today's video is kind of something random. I feel like, okay, everybody knows that people live by the saying of life is too short, and they say that and they're like, life is too short, go date that person. Life is too short, go take that trip that you probably won't take if you keep saying like, I'll do it when I have enough money. Or life is too short, go and move to a totally different state, or switch your job, or do this, do that, right? And it's very common. But I feel like a lot of people don't really take it to heart. At least I didn't. I would always say it, and I'd always kind of mean it, but I think within the last 2 months I have realized that life really is so short. And the reason I say this is because, okay, I don't know about you guys, I don't know if anyone's gonna agree with this, but I feel like in this generation a lot of people are very afraid to feel. Now, hear me out. What I mean by that is, from what I've experienced now, I know I'm only 21 years old, but what I've experienced in the last couple of years is that this generation is so afraid to feel or to experience something or to just be in the moment because I don't know if it's like growing up or what we see or what social media says or whatever it is, we're kind of taught that not to like dive into things too quickly, if that makes sense. And this all relates to living life and all that good stuff, but I kind of want to like piece things together. But I feel like as people who really want a successful future, I'm going to talk about myself because I don't want to assume that people think like me, but me personally, I'm very much a future planner kind of person. I love to think about, okay, in 2 years, do I still want to be having the job that I have? In 2 years, do I still want to be seeing this person that I'm seeing? In 2 years, do I still want to be friends with this person, that person? Like, I think about all the things. I'm constantly in the future. And because of that, I convince myself that in the now, I don't have time to waste my time on new experiences that might not work out, or to waste my time on a trip or a new move or a new job that might not work out because I have a future to take care of. And I was always just so caught up in that mindset that I was slowly starting to just kind of go crazy because my life just was looking the same. Like everything was just the same. You wake up, you eat food, you go to work for like 8 hours, 9 hours, you come back, you eat more food, you do whatever it is that you do when you get off of work, and then you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And don't get me wrong, like I am a pretty spontaneous person, and every now and then I'll, want to go crazy and take an adventure, go on a road trip and just experience life. But it's very rare. Like it's like a treat, it won't be an everyday thing. It'll be like a once every 3 months thing. Does that make sense? And these last couple months I started to realize that it's not what you do with your life, it's what you make out of what you got. Like there's days where I don't have work, like today, where I could go on a date with myself. I could go to the park and journal. I could create an episode. I could do this and that, but I don't because I'm so stuck in my routine that I would like never leave my house. I would never go out and meet new people and just experience life. And I don't even mean it like in a superficial, like go crazy, go party, go do whatever. Now that I'm no judgment against that because that's also fun too, but I'm meaning just, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be vulnerable. I don't know what the heck happens after we all leave this earth, this world. I don't know. And I genuinely believe that nobody knows. We all have faith, we all have beliefs, we all have, things that we think to be true, but no one really knows what happens after. And I think that's why it's so much more important to live in the moment every single day now, because you don't know the next step. You don't know if tomorrow's promised. You don't know if the opportunity you get now will still be there in a couple months or in a couple years. And within these last couple months, I had this little altercation with somebody who's very special to me, and we were not talking. I was very much in my mental space, and I was like, nope, I'm right. I don't have time to deal with this. I have better things to do. And something about me that is a weakness and a strength at the same time is that when somebody makes me feel unloved or makes me feel like the part that I have in their life isn't valued by them, it's very easy for me to cut people off. Because I know where I stand, I know my worth, I know my value. Therefore, if you don't contribute to my growth, like, that's it, which is good. But then sometimes it's not the best, because then I put myself in a mindset of I'm holding grudges and I'm so angry towards people for no reason. Then it affects my mental health, because you're constantly thinking about why you're upset or why this person bothered you or why you don't like them, and you try to convince yourself that this is why I no longer speak to this person. Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain people in life that aren't beneficial to you and that you do need to let go. But this person wasn't that. And I talked to my mom one day, and she was like, Daisy, like, I know that you have a big heart. I know that you love to love. You love to be a good person and be that comfort for people. She was like, but you do tend to be a little bit petty, a little bit stubborn when it comes to your perspective. But she was like, but sometimes you're going to disagree with people. You're going to have a little bit of problems with people, and you're going to have to decide between two things. One, let your ego get the best of you and lose a friendship or whatever to yourself, to your own thoughts. Or you can be the bigger person, go to this person, talk it out, explain why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, let them explain how they're feeling, and then work it out. Should say life is too short to hold grudges, to hold on to that negativity. And And so yeah, so ever since then, I feel like I've been going out, I've been meeting people, and I feel like, well, maybe it's all in my own head, but I feel like people are noticing that I'm carrying myself in such a different way. Because, there's confidence, there's mainly confidence, really. And I feel like I've been confident for a while now, but I feel like when it's confidence mixed with humbleness, mixed with just you care about the world, but you don't have a care in the world, if that makes sense. You're living in every moment. You're just experiencing everything as it is. And something that I also did, I think I mentioned this in my last episode, but I don't have social media anymore besides TikTok. Because TikTok, I love TikTok. I love posting videos, whether it's motivational, funny, whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. But I deleted all social media. And I feel like that's helped me so much because I no longer have that pressure of what my life should look like, or that I should be in a relationship, or my life should do this, or I should be living here, or I should have this much money, or this or that or that or whatever, right? And it's really helped me just live in the moment. And I thank God for my coworkers so much because they've also helped me step outside of my comfort zone and go out and meet new people and not be so restricted of, oh my God, I only have this many hours of the day. This is how much I'm going to work. This is how much I'm going to sleep. This is how much I'm going to be able to eat. I'm so consumed by time. But if you really think about it, time is just a concept, right? Now, hear me out. I know that I go in a lot of spirals. I'm talking about, living your best life, then also holding grudges, but then also time and management and all that good stuff. And it's just because I like to speak in my episodes as if I'm talking to a person. So if one thing pops into my head, I'm going to say it rather than, oh no, I have to stick with a certain format. And I kind of like that because sometimes things come out that I didn't even think were going to be in this video, and here we are. But point of this whole conversation is that just live every day at a time because tomorrow's not promised. And I feel like people know that, but when you go through certain things in life and that becomes a little bit more literal, in this crazy, chaotic world, there's so much just anger and so much diversity, so much conflict, so much just this person over that person, this belief over that belief, just this generation over that generation. And there's just so much lack of love and so much lack of optimism and so much lack of just pure joy, pure bliss. And I kind of lost that for a second. Because sometimes there's not a lot of good people out there, and sometimes there is. And one thing I will say is that when you experience a lot of people who are not like you and don't have that positive energy, don't have that optimistic perspective, and don't have that just way of thinking where life is so beautiful and it should be romanticized and it should be something that you wake up every single day and you're so excited to be alive, so excited to see what this new day brings you, so excited to just be. But when you surround yourself with a lot of people that are not like that, who don't think like that, who think a little bit more blueprint kind of thinking, it's really hard to keep your optimism and your happiness and your light. And I feel like I kind of lost mine a little bit because I was meeting so many people that just wouldn't understand that life is too short. They wouldn't understand that life is all about experiences and doing things that scare you and doing things that might be so uncomfortable for you, but at the end of the day, you don't know the outcome of just about anything. So why not go for an experience? And I've always been like that. So I think surrounding myself with people who aren't like that kind of made me less me. But I don't know, you guys ever just sit there and you're going through the motion, going through the cycle, going through your everyday life and meeting the same people, doing the same things. experiencing like the same day. Like that's something that just like drives me insane, is that some days, like there's weeks that I'll go by that I do the same thing every single day. And I'm like, tomorrow, literally, no one in the world, in the history of history, nobody in any generation has experienced tomorrow yet. Like, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new experience. You can meet someone totally new. It could be a weather that we've never, something forecast that we've never experienced. Something insane can happen because we were blessed with another day. And yet we just see it as, oh, tomorrow's Tuesday. Like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that people just don't enjoy life a little bit more. And I'm not gonna lie, recently life has been so good. I'm like, I wouldn't consider myself an introvert, but in certain occasions I am an introvert, and sometimes I'm an extrovert. But lately my coworkers have been the highlight of my life, literally, because they've pushed me to step outside of my comfort zone and go out and go to these events and bars and just live my 20s, live my 21-year-old dream. And I've met so many people in the time span of like not even a month, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So many incredible people not even from this state, from this country. And I think that's why just recently it's just been more of like, oh my God, life is so short. If I want to fly to LA right now, I'm going to do it. Because, and here's the thing, sidetrack or side note, whatever. Most of the time when people don't do things, it's because of money. Everyone's like, I don't want to do that yet because I'm not financially stable. I don't want to start a family because I'm not good on my money. I don't want to get into a relationship because I'm not good in terms of financial reasons. I don't want to go on this trip because I'm not good financially. This, that, right? This also goes back to the topic of manifestation. Obviously, your life, you're not getting those funds because you keep saying you need those funds. Sorry, my chair's a little bit squeaky. You're not living your best life because you're saying you're still not living your best life. Things right now aren't going exactly like you want it because you're just so focused on the future and that's going to be your perfect life that you kind of basically manifested that the whole time between then or there and now, it's not going to be the life that you want. And let me tell you, the one thing that I can say that I've learned in the last 21 years of my life is that money does not do a literal thing. Yes, obviously life is very expensive right now, and you need money to do things and to just live, honestly. But money won't get you that satisfaction that most people are craving in this world. Everybody wants a purpose, everybody wants excitement, everybody wants just to be alive. And unfortunately, I feel like social media has convinced people that the more money that you have, the better your life will be. And although, yes, you'll be able to experience a lot more vacations or trips or whatever, a lot of people who do have a lot of money say that they can have millions and millions of dollars and still that cannot make them happy. Because you can be rich, but you can be alone. You can have the best job in the whole world, but it can take up all of your time. You know what I mean? And, for those who know me, I've never been a money person, really. I'm very minimalist. I don't really live extravagant in the sense of money. I'd rather spend all my time and my money and my energy on experiences and people and vacations and just be alive, honestly. Because life is just too freaking short. And a lot has been happening. Ever since COVID, a lot has been happening, guys. The world is just in complete chaos. I feel like it's up to us to bring that light to bring that positivity and remind people that it's up to us that determines, the outcome of our lives. People don't realize how incredibly powerful our minds are. Us as humans, we can speak absolutely anything into existence. And yet, look how many people are struggling right now. People are struggling. Sometimes I wish that money wasn't, the center of the whole world. I wish that money was just like yeah, we have it, we don't need it kind of thing, but fortunately it's not. And I feel like finances cause a lot of problems, and I don't know where I was going with that, but main thing is that I just have been living in the moment lately. Any grudges, any hate, any sadness, any disappointment that I've held towards anybody, it's gone, because who am I to hold a grudge towards somebody? Who am I to be angry towards somebody? It's life. We live and we learn, and just because I don't agree with the way somebody else acted doesn't mean that they didn't have a reason behind it. But if you're watching this and you're all the way to the end of this episode, I just want to remind you guys that this is, if you ask for a sign, this is your sign. Live your life no matter what it takes. Because I truly believe that you're never fully ready for anything. You're never ready. But in the midst or in the process of doing said thing, you will become ready. And I feel like that's the beauty of our world and our life, is that you figure it out. Figure it out, and you are still able to live. You're still able to be human, be alive, party it up, go crazy, meet new people, meet new friends, start a family, just anything. I don't know, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to just experience everything. And when I mean that, obviously, yes, everything in terms of the world and everything that's going on right now, but one thing about me is I love to experience not surface level world things, but world things. I don't know about y'all, but if you ever get the chance, go outside and go sit next to a lake, or go journal at a park, or go literally just lay in nature, and you cannot tell me that it won't get you feeling some type of way. But it's gonna be very difficult for me to not edit this episode, because I'm very much I need it to sound motivational enough. But this honestly was just me updating you guys for the last 2 months. And I've been living life. I've been meeting people. I've been valuing myself a lot more too, and what I want and what I don't want. But yeah, that's it. This is the end of episode 14. I did want to mention that I also have another YouTube channel. It's just my full name, Daisy Diaz, and it's more like of a vlog, just regular YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting on that channel more now. I'm going to try and post once a week for this podcast, and then once a week on my regular YouTube channel, and that's going to be more just vlogs, me going out, doing the thing, living my crazy life. And this is obviously going to be more personal development, or even just chit-chatting, just sharing my life. But I'm gonna be more consistent. Every last video I've said I'm gonna try to be, but no, I'm gonna be more consistent, because this is what I love to do. I love making videos. I love speaking. I love sharing just all this stuff. But although it was kind of all over the place and there's no structure to this video at all, and I'm so sorry for any of you guys who need structure in their life. This is not it. But thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next Monday on the dot for episode 15. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.